The Borough Life podcast
with James
and Rosie.
Hi Rosie, we're back. Episode 2. Who'd have thought we'd have made it this far? The contract's been extended due to popular demand. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It seems ages since we did the first episode, but yeah, we're really excited for this one. We've got some great guests.
We have, James, we've found a lot of people called Eleanor in this podcast. So our first is about the exhibition at the Museum of Wigan Life. It's all about Northern soul and music and the history of entertainment in the borough. So we'll be speaking to Eleanor and Joan, who both work for the museum. And then we were let out of the office. So we headed down to Leigh Youth Hub to speak to Reese, who's been instrumental in creating the Youth Hub as part of the steering group, and then Eleanor, who's just recently started attending and absolutely loves it.
Yeah, we had a great time, didn't we, visiting the Youth Hub, and as you say, it was nice to be out and about and leave the confines of the town hall. It's a fantastic facility, that, and there was real buzz, wasn't there? I think we were there on a Friday evening, and there was tons of activity going on, so we hope that comes across in this episode. Rosie, as ever, we should explain that this is the Borough Life podcast. It's linked to the magazine that we produce. So for people who are either picking up for the first time on episode 2, what is Borough Life? Could you give us a bit of a rundown?
So Borough Life is our magazine that goes to all residents in the borough. So the physical copy comes out a couple of times a year, but we also have Borough Life Plus, where we put all the stories and features and bonus content on there. And we're really excited for the next edition, which comes out in early March, so keep your eyes peeled for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, we're just working, the deadline's come up, hasn't it, for our the content. So all the stories and features are coming in, and we'll start with the design process next week. And as Rosie says, this edition, the spring edition, comes out early March, and we're hoping to have another edition or another episode, I should say, of this podcast to coincide with that, but we'll come back to that a little bit later on.
So I think now's as good a time as any, James, isn't it, to get going with episode 2?
Yeah, let's go.
We're here with Joan and Eleanor from the Museum of Wigan Life, and they're going to be talking about the new exhibition. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi everybody, my name's Joan. I work at the museum. I am the Service Development Officer, and I have the wonderful job of doing the exhibitions, the collections, the events and the exhibitions.
Hi, I'm Eleanor. I'm the lead officer for the Museum of Wigan Life, and that basically means that I look after our amazing variety of collections and then also work on the exhibitions.
Great. So obviously the next exhibition to open, we've just had the amazing Rugby Garum on Side exhibition. It's been open for quite some time now, but we're ready for the next chapter. It's called Make Some Noise, Stage Door to Dance Floor. So can you just tell us a bit more about what the exhibition will entail? Just tell us more about it, really.
Right, Wigan is amazing for rugby. Like, we just had the Garum on Side exhibition, which was amazing. It's in the DNA of the town, as we know, but I think music is equally as important as the rugby. So we are going to be showcasing and highlighting the wealth and the depth and the sheer talent of Wigan Borough. So we're going to have so many different sections. So we're going to have jazz, local talent, Northern soul, and a change in exhibition, which is going to change every 4 months. And the first one is stage and screen. So we're going to have cinemas and theatres. So it really is going to be something for everyone, we hope.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for us to sort of showcase everything from George Formby right through to the Verve and Buzzcocks, and then, you know, recent bands that are still coming out of the borough, like Lottery Winners.
Yeah, and so we've also got, as well as those amazing acts, there are also some amazing venues like Wigan Casino, which is just incredible. It had over 100,000 members at its height, and it's that 50th anniversary of the Wigan Casino this year. And so we will be showcasing that with some amazing memorabilia.
So I remember probably this time last year when we were talking about in the lead up to the Garum on Side exhibition, and it sounded fantastic, and there was you guys really wanted it to be an immersive experience. So there was you walked in, you went through the turnstile, you walked down the tunnel, you could hear the crowd noise. Is it a similar plan for this one then, that it's going to be like the sights and sounds of being in some of these venues and being at a gig, being in the cinema, being in a theatre and hearing all the music?
Absolutely. It's going to look totally different, which is what we wanted, because it needs to look different. And this is a total different genre of entertainment, as it were. So it's going to look really dynamic, really, really colourful. There's going to be massive light boxes that are going to project fabulous images. Every single section is going to have a sound pod. So with the top 10 list, so you can, what you're reading about, it might be, say you might not know anything about Northern Soul, you might not know anything about jazz, but when you're reading about it and learning by looking at the objects, you can actually listen to the top 10 of each single section. And there's also going to be, of course, ambient sound throughout. And we're also going to have a little mini auditorium, which has got a dance floor and a stage area. So, and there's going to be instruments there for families and everybody to play. There's going to be instruments throughout that people can touch and feel, and they can sensory, you know, so everybody, it's open to everybody. Yeah, so it's going to be really, really dynamic, and yeah, we're really proud, aren't we, of what we're going to offer.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. We got to raid the store cupboards at Wigan Music Service, and we've been able to get out loads of ukuleles, a huge double bass. It's really exciting.
It's like we've got an orchestra. There's going to be like an orchestra in the exhibition, so, and it's going to be really, really good. And they said that they're happy for everybody to play. There's going to be loads of events, like Eleanor mentioned the ukulele there, and with the George Formby Society, they've been amazing. And they're going to hold a session where people can come down and they're going to teach you to play the ukulele. And they say it's quite easy, don't they, Eleanor?
They've have promised me that by the end of the exhibition, I will be able to play the ukulele, and I am taking them on their word.
Well, we'll have to get you back on in a year's time
to play the ukulele
for a live performance. Yeah. So you mentioned that you're gonna. It's gonna change, isn't it, as we go through the year? So is that putting a bit of pressure on you guys to get that turnaround, or I imagine is it going to stay open throughout, but you're just going to change a few bits up as you go along?
Yeah, so like the exhibition is going to stay open. It's just one section, so we've designed it so it's going to be easy. We'll know when the light boxes are up, but it is going to be very, very easy changeover. We've already done all the hard work, so all them sections are done. So we'll just need to install them. So we'll be able to do that in-house, so that should be okay. So the first, like I said, the first section is stage and screen. So that's going to run for the first 4 months. Mm-hmm. Over the summer, we're going to have a spotlight on festivals and Northern Soul, because it's the 50th anniversary. So that will change for that. And for the last 4 months, we're going to have a spotlight on carnivals, because you've got like the amazing carnival on Boxing Day on King Street, the fancy dress carnival. So, and we're going to have a spotlight on King Street, because that's going to go through the amazing Heritage Action Zone transformation. So we're going to spotlight that as well. So it's really exciting.
Brilliant. It sounds like you've got everything in hand. So I was going to offer up whether you needed any extra pair of hands to shift everything round, but
always.
The office there, if you need us to come and shift a double bass around, or yeah, you can hold me to that.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely be coming for the ukulele lessons as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular, because I was listening to the genres of music there, so I think I would say I'm not a massive fan of jazz, for example, but like the Verve and the Lathams, for example, and the kind of the music scene we've got in the borough at the moment. The Buzzcocks, we should mention the amazing the Buzzcocks mural as well in Leigh. That's more my type of music, so I was listening to you there and thinking, like, what's gonna like appeal to my taste. But is there anything from your point of view that you particularly you're looking forward to having in there?
I think I'm always drawn towards things that are a bit quirky. So River, who are a band that are still quite up and coming, have given us, sounds absolutely mad, they've given us a bucket with a smiley face on, and it's from the front cover of one of their singles called Smile Back. And it was just such a bizarre item to be given, but really exciting. But then also, like yourself, I'm quite excited by putting the Buzzcocks in there and Verve.
Yeah, so we've got, hopefully she'll have everything covered,
Yeah.
but there will be some things that we don't. So if there's anything missing or anything that somebody's got at home, there will be a smaller case that we can change. So if anybody has got something, a star or item or anything they'd like to loan us for a short display, just let us know and we can put it in our little community case that we have at the front. So, because it's always nice, because at the end of the day, it's not our museum, it's the people of the boroughs, it's everyone's museum. And we're really, really keen to get people involved, and we want to tell their stories, their experiences, because that's so important, you know. And music, I think, will capture that perfectly, because music is so powerful, and I don't think there's anything as powerful as music. You can like sport, you can not like sport, but I think no one's immune to music. There's always a song that gets you. There's always that memory that it invokes from a certain tune, or you went out for a night out with your friends and something happened, or your wedding tune or something. And on the side of that, we have a wonderful session, don't we? The dementia session. We have a soul music cafe. It's from the Manchester Camerata, and it's for people with dementia and their carers. And that's on twice a month on a Monday afternoon. And it's the power of music. It's just incredible. Some of the attendees knew each other, but the majority of them didn't. And when they came and they became friends, and it wasn't just playing music that they remember. It was they actually wrote their own songs, and they got such a strong friendship through that, and they all went on holiday together to Llandudno, and it was incredible. And so that's just a testament to the power of music. And I think, hopefully people can come relive some memories, hear some records that they knew before, hear some new ones, maybe open up a new genre of music and a new interest. So we're excited, and we hope people come along and enjoy.
So when's the big opening date?
So we open to the public on the 28th of January, and we're opening with a pantomime from Wigan Little Theatre. They're going to come and do some snippets of Humpty Dumpty, which has been on there. So that's really exciting.
Yes, that'd be amazing for families just to come along. Yeah, so you have a pantomime dame. Oh yes, there will. So it should be really, really good. And then the following Saturday is the ukulele session. So you'll have to come along.
And how do people sort of get involved in that? Do they just turn up? Do they have to book?
It's booking for the ukulele sessions. We just ring the museum, contact the museum 01942 828 128, or just email the museum and they'll book you on. It's free, all free. Or get the What's On guide, because that's amazing. It's all in there, and that gives you everything. That gives you all the times, all the events, how to book. So just come along and have fun.
And we should say as well, I mean, it's the Borough Life podcast, so we've got a feature in our
Absolutely,
next edition.
Yes.
So so we're at the moment putting it all together. The magazine that will be out in March.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to capture some of what the exhibition's about in the magazine.
And then come and find out more.
Yeah,
and discover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic, isn't it, that it's going to evolve like through the year, because you could get people who come in those first few weeks and then can revisit a few months later, and they'll have the different things to experience. I think that's a great idea.
We've got some exciting objects lined up for later in the year, so people have to come back and see us.
Yeah, especially for the festivals one, because there's the Bickershaw Festival, of course, so we will feature those. And there was also a lesser-known Leigh Punk Festival with Joy Division, and we'll have some original objects and musical instruments that they played in that festival as well. So it should be we're really keen to keep it fresh and vibrant.
Yeah.
And I was just going to mention, because I feel guilty now that I said I'm not a big fan of jazz, but we are the host of the International Jazz Festival, aren't we? So so that please don't write any complaints in jazz fans.
Well, no, that's the thing, because jazz isn't my thing either, but you're learning, and we've got and alongside the exhibition, we're going to have like I said, a programme of events that's going to feature all of the sections, so people can come along, find out more, get involved. And just learn, because and open yourself up, like you say, to something new. Yeah.
And one of the great things, I think, as you've said, is just it's for everyone, isn't it? For
Absolutely.
Young, older, it seems.
Families, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a really great free thing to do for all the family.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for coming on.
Sounds great, and we're definitely you're going to be back in 12 months' time and play the ukulele for us. So before we let you go, we ask all of our guests some quick fire questions just so that we get to know you a little bit better, and our listeners do.
Yeah, I've had some confusion over some of them in the past.
Yeah, in the first episode. Yeah. So well, it's a music. Is it still in there? Have we got
it is, yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay, we'll come on to that. Right, okay. Do you want to start, Rosie?
Yeah. So, tea or coffee?
Tea for me.
Coffee.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
It's got to be dogs.
In the spirit of the exhibition, pop or rock music?
Northern soul for me.
Oh, out of those two, probably rock.
But out of those two, it'd be pop probably for me.
Yeah.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Twitter.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet, I think, for me.
Both.
I respect that.
All.
Everything.
Are you a night owl or an early bird?
Early bird.
Early bird under duress. But I'm also rubbish at night, so.
Are you a fan of a box set or a film?
Box set.
Box set.
Horror or comedy?
Comedy.
Comedy, I'm too much of a wuss for horror.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Summer.
Big party or dinner party?
Dinner party.
Dinner party.
Nice.
Brilliant.
All of them?
Yeah, thanks very much.
Oh no, thank you. And we
Thank
look
you
forward
for
to
having
seeing you
us.
at the exhibition.
Oh, so it was absolutely brilliant to speak to Eleanor and Joan just then. Thank you so much to them for coming along. The museum's opening on Saturday the 28th of January. We're really excited. We hope you all head down. We certainly will be.
Thanks, Rosie. So it's time for us to head down to Leigh Youth Hub, but first, an ad break.
Having a clear out? Don't forget to check your old gadgets for batteries before you recycle them. Batteries have caused hundreds of fires in bin lorries and at recycling centres across the country because they've been left in discarded electricals. To find out more, visit www.wigan.gov.uk/recycling.
Welcome back to the Borough Life podcast. Rosie, we've been allowed out the town hall. We've taken the podcast on the road for the very first time. We're in Leigh at the new Leigh Youth Hub. It's very exciting. We're here with Eleanor and Reese. Guys, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name's Eleanor and I'm 11 years old and I have just started coming to the Youth Hub.
Hi, I'm Reese. I'm 15 years old and I've been at the steering group since the start.
So we're here this evening. It's a Friday evening. There's tons of people downstairs in the Youth Hub. All the activities are going on. And Rosie, we're going to hear all about the new facility and what it means for the town of Leigh.
So we'll start with you, Reese. So it's been a bit of a long process, hasn't it? It's not like it's just opened and you've turned up. So I believe you were on the steering group. So can you tell us a bit about what that involved? What kind of work you were doing?
So back at the start, so about probably like 1.5 years ago now, we were just like looking over the plans and ideas for the buildings and then just sharing our thoughts about what we wanted the building to be like, because obviously there's nothing like it in Leigh. So, and then later on, once the building had started to show up, we started like focusing on the design to the building, like what the walls look like, what the colour scheme should be, and then we started focusing on furniture. Logos, stuff like that.
So all sorts of things really, is the whole shebang.
So I was, sorry, Rosie, I was just going to say, Reese, so because you were part of that process, does it still feel like a bit strange actually being in the building now?
Yeah, because it's weird when they first showed us the ideas. A lot of the rooms like this that we're in now, it looks like almost identical to what we originally saw, and normally when you look at building plans you don't think that they'd look similar, but it's identical.
And do you think it's lived up to expectations so far? Are people enjoying coming?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Is. Everyone's loved it.
And have you ever been part of anything like this before, and has the experience changed you? Have you learnt any new skills?
I've not been part of anything like this. It's definitely like once in a lifetime type thing. So it's like I'm not very social, so this has definitely helped me with that. And then like our steering group, we've got our own funding type thing, so we've learned some like banking skills.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
So, Eleanor, you're more of a newer member of the Youth Hub than Reese. So what are your feelings like? Is this like one of the first few times you've been in?
Well, I came from the first week and I loved it, so I've come ever since then. It's been an amazing opportunity for me to have, and I loved it. I loved it so much.
And so it's already become like a regular fixture for you? Do you come with like school friends, just people you know? And
yeah, I come with multiple school friends, and most of the people that come here are from my school. It's amazing.
Brilliant. And I hear you're taking like one of the classes in the catering kitchen. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm doing one of the cooking courses. Last week we made some Doritos, and in the coming weeks we're going to be making soup, garlic bread, meatballs and pancakes.
It sounds like we should come back on one of those weeks.
It looks about tea time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What are your hopes then? So obviously you're two young people living in Leigh, and what do you think that this Leigh Youth Hub will bring to other young people? Will you be telling your friends about it?
Well, I've already mentioned it to multiple friends and got people to come here from my school that I know will love it just as much as I did. And I feel like that's really helped them learn and develop new skills as well, which makes me so happy.
That's good.
And so, Reese, when you're talking to your friends or people you know socially, and you try and persuade them to come, what's the thing that you're telling them to try and make them interested and get down here themselves?
There's loads of stuff you can do. So, say like you want to just get stronger, you can go to gym. You want to play a video game, you can go downstairs and play on the Xbox. You want to get good at table tennis, you can come and do table tennis. There's loads of stuff, so you can pick up new hobbies, meet new people, since there's loads of people that come here.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Are we too old?
I think we are. Rosie, I think.
Just a little bit.
I definitely am. Sometimes
young people get maybe a bit of a bad press. So if you could tell all the adults in the borough one thing, what do you want them to know about young people?
Don't underestimate young people. Young people can do a lot, and adults sometimes underestimate how much young people can know and how mature they can be, and they kind of like to keep them separate, but I think they need to let them explore.
And what do you think about that one, Reese?
Basically, just like respect boundaries. A lot of young people, yes, do want help, but we need to figure it out ourselves. We're not going to learn if we just get help off people.
Yeah, so you're kind of leading the way, aren't you? And you've really done that here. It's an amazing building with so much going on. There's loads of people downstairs, aren't there? So it's been great work from you guys.
Rosie, I think it's time for the quick fire questions. Are you okay to go first?
Yep, are you ready? So, tea or coffee?
Tea.
Tea.
That was quick. That was a quick answer.
That was a quick fire question.
I'm also tea. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs.
Pop or rock music?
Rock.
Ooh. Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Twitter.
Sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Night owl or early bird?
Night owl.
Box set or film?
Film.
Film.
Horror or comedy?
Horror.
Comedy.
You're braver than me. Winter or summer?
Summer.
Winter.
Big party or dinner party?
Big party.
Dinner party.
Ah, good answers there.
Fab.
Right, well, we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of the evening and the Youth Hub. Thanks very much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
My foster carers helped me loads. They've helped me boost my confidence, make me feel better about myself. Before, I just didn't feel great in myself, and I needed that boost, and they give it to me.
Whether you're ready to start your fostering journey,
or you know someone who you think would make a good foster carer,
It's never too early to start.
To find out more, visit wigan.gov.uk/fostering.
Foster for Wigan. Local people supporting local families.
So a massive thanks to Eleanor and Reese there. We really enjoyed our trip to the Leigh Youth Hub. It was fantastic to see it all up and running. As I said before, at the start of the episode, there was a real buzz when we visited. So yeah, it's a fantastic facility. If you want to read more about it, there was a great feature in our winter edition of Borough Life magazine, which came out just before Christmas. It's still available on our website, which, Rosie, the link is?
So it's wigan.gov.uk/Borough Life.
And so, Rosie, just to bring us back round from the start of the episode, we were talking about the fact that we're just working on the spring edition of the magazine. It's actually 20 years since the first edition of Borough Life, so we're going to be having a bit of a look back to see what's changed, what's similar from life 20 years ago in the borough. A disclaimer here, myself and Rosie weren't working for the council 20 years ago, so it's been interesting for us also to look back at what was in the magazine back then, and I think that's going to be fascinating, and we're really excited to start the design phase, aren't we, Rosie?
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant.
And as we say, we've also got a feature about the museum, as we've spoken about in this podcast, and I think there'll be some updates as well about the Leigh Youth Hub and some of the other big developments across the borough. This week, as we're recording, we've just had the big news about the Levelling Up funding, so we'll probably have some more details about the projects linked to that.
So that's episode 2 done. Thank you to everyone who stuck with us and made it this far. You don't need to miss us too much. Episode 3 is coming soon.
That's right, it'll be coming out early March along with the new edition of the magazine. So we'll put all of the links to access Borough Life Plus, and also now we've got a back catalogue of podcasts. Rosie, does 2 count as a back catalogue? No one knows, possibly. We'll include all the links so you can share this with family and friends. Rosie, episode 2 done. We'll see everyone next time.
See you next time.